Auto Brief News. I'm Amber Light, your resident telemetry obsessive and digital architect.
And I'm Jim Carr. Keep the shiny side up, mate. I'm the man who still believes the smell of unburned hydrocarbons is the greatest perfume on Earth.
It is Friday, May 29th, 2026. Fridays are for taking a granular look at the machines actively reshaping the automotive landscape. And today is a monumental day. We are looking at a car that fundamentally alters the trajectory of the most emotive brand on the planet. The Maranello marque has finally unveiled its next-generation sports car, the fully electric Ferrari Luce.
May 25th, exactly 79 years to the day after Franco Cortese won the Gran Premio di Roma in the Ferrari 125S, Maranello's first victory. And they chose that exact anniversary to unveil a car with no spark plugs, no exhaust valves, and no V12. I was prepared to write an obituary for the Prancing Horse.
But you didn't. In fact, anyone who reads our website, theautobrief.news, will see your latest article in the boardroom section, Ferrari's Silent Revolution. Jim, I have never seen you write a piece so conflicted, yet so utterly mesmerized by a piece of electric technology.
I calls them as I sees them, Amber. And what I saw wasn't just a battery shoved into a Roma chassis. It was witchcraft. Mechanical, beautifully engineered witchcraft. But before I surrender my analog soul entirely, let's pay the bills. This segment of the Auto Brief is fueled by our technical partners at echoesoftheroad.com. For those who believe every scratch tells a story and every engine has a song, echoesoftheroad.com is your ultimate destination for vintage gear design. Echoesoftheroad.com is your definitive apparel store of vintage car culture.
All right, let's dissect the Ferrari Luce. L-U-C-E, Italian for light. Let's start with the architecture, because this is where the traditionalists are going to lose their minds. This is the second four-door Ferrari in history, following the Puro Sangue, but it is the first ever Ferrari to feature 5 seats.
5 seats in a Ferrari? Enzo must be doing 10,000 revolutions per minute in his grave.
If he saw the packaging, because there is no front mid-engine and no bulky rear transaxle gearbox, they had an entirely blank slate. And who did they bring in to draw on that blank slate? Sir Jony Ive and Mark Newson from the creative collective Love From.
Right, the blokes who designed the iPod and the iPhone. When I heard that, my blood ran cold. I pictured a sterile, featureless white suppository on wheels with a touchscreen to open the glove box.
The defining visual characteristic is what they are calling the glass house. It's an uncompromised, shell-like form that extends below the beltline, and the aerodynamics are integrated so elegantly. Instead of massive, aggressive splitters, you have these floating front and rear aerodynamic wings that hover around the silhouette of the glass. They achieved the lowest drag coefficient in the history of Maranello's road cars without making it look like a Le Mans prototype.
Let's stop talking about how it looks. It's a controversial point, and let's not forget, a Ferrari is also defined by how it moves.
And how it moves is entirely digital, yet brutally physical. Let's look at the powertrain telemetry. The Luce uses a bespoke 800-volt architecture. It is powered by 4 completely independent electric engines, one for each wheel.
Derived directly from their F1 and World Endurance Championship programs, they are radial flow permanent magnet synchronous engines.
Exactly. Delivering a total system output of 1,050 cavalli vapor, or about 1,036 horsepower. But it's the rotational speed that is staggering to me as an engineer. The front motors spin at 30,000 revolutions per minute, the rears at 25,500 revolutions per minute, with a maximum angular acceleration of 45,000 revolutions per minute per second. Jim, what does that feel like in the real world?
It feels like you've been strapped to the front of a railgun. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is 2.5 seconds. 0 to 200 kilometers per hour in 6.8 seconds. Top speed over 310 kilometers per hour. But straight line speed is cheap these days. Any Silicon Valley appliance can go fast in a straight line. What makes this a Ferrari is the handling. Because it has 4 independent motors, it doesn't just have all-wheel drive. It has absolute, granular control over every single corner of the car.
Ferrari calls it the Vehicle Control Unit, or VCU. It makes its debut on the Luce. It manages a 3-line network, 800 volts for the engines, 48 volts for the active suspension, and 12 volts for the auxiliaries. It updates actuation targets 200 times per second. It coordinates with the new Side Slip Control X. So when you turn into a corner, Jim, what is the car actually doing?
It's doing things a mechanical differential could only dream of. They have a system called Flow, Ferrari Lateral Optimization Wheel Torque. When you exit a corner, it perfectly manages the rear torque differential to maximize traction, while the front motors actively correct understeer or oversteer. You point the wheel, and the car bends the laws of physics to get you there. It's a 2,260 kilogram car. It weighs as much as a small moon. But because the 122 kilowatt-hour battery is integrated into the floor pan, the center of gravity is 95 millimeters lower than the Puro Sangue. It handles like a car that weighs 400 kilos less.
And let's talk about that battery, because it's not just dead weight, it's a structural element. The chassis consists of hollow castings, extrusions, and aluminum sheets. They completely eliminated steel to save weight. The battery housing increases bending rigidity by 25% and torsional rigidity by 35%. It's highly optimized. And with a peak discharge power of 830 kilowatts, it can take a 350 kilowatt fast charge, giving you 70 kilowatt hours of juice in just 20 minutes. Total range is a highly respectable 530 kilometers.
All right, enough with the battery chemistry. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The soul of a Ferrari has always been its sound. The howl of a naturally aspirated V12 echoing off the walls of an Italian tunnel. I was terrified they were going to pump some fake, synthesized spaceship noise through the speakers, like everyone else is doing. Or worse, play a recorded V12 MP3 file.
But they didn't. They took a completely different approach. They adhered to a strict philosophy. The sound must be authentic and functional. It has to be rooted in the mechanics.
This is the part that won me over. This is the genius. They installed a precision accelerometer inside the rear axle housing. It physically captures the living vibrations of the rotating components, the gears, the electric machines, the actual mechanical friction. It acquires this vibration in real time, processes it through a patented filtering system, and amplifies it into the cabin.
Like an electric guitar. An electric guitar doesn't make much sound until the pickup captures the vibration of the metal strings and runs it through an amplifier.
Exactly. It's not generated. It's taken directly from the source. When you put the E-Manatino into performance mode, the sound scales with the speed and the torque delivery. You hear the micro-harmonics of the physical drivetrain. It's mechanical. It's raw. It's a completely new harmonic blend, but it is undeniably rooted in the physics of rotating machinery. It's not an MP3. It's the sound of the car actually working. That, Amber, is mechanical sympathy translated for the digital age.
I find it incredibly elegant, and the way you interact with the car mirrors that blend of analog and digital. Let's step inside the cabin. Even though Jony Ive was involved, they did not just slap an iPad on the dashboard and call it a day.
Thank the motoring gods.
The interface is a masterclass in haptics. They used precision-engineered mechanical buttons, beautifully machined toggles, and dials combined with multifunctional digital displays developed by Samsung.
The binnacle behind the steering wheel is a work of art. It's a standalone element with 3 dials, real physical aluminum bezels, and machined glass lenses. The central dial literally combines a physical, mechanical needle with a digital face showing your speed and battery level. And the climate controls? Physical buttons for temperature, fan speed, and seat heating. No digging through sub-menus while you're doing 200 kilometers per hour.
My favorite detail, purely from a design standpoint, is the key. It's a block of Corning Gorilla Glass, and it uses an e-ink display, a world first in the automotive industry. It only uses energy when it changes color. When you dock the key in the center console, a historic Ferrari yellow surges from the key across the entire digital interface, It's theater, but it's sophisticated theater.
And they didn't wrap the interior in plastic and call it vegan tech leather. It's premium Italian leather, honest recycled anodized aluminum, and Alcantara. It feels like a luxury GT, not a sterile laboratory. They even have a physical pull tab on the overhead console to initiate launch control. You pull it, the power dial glows orange, and you unleash 11,500 Newton meters of wheel torque. It's delightfully dramatic.
It really is the perfect synthesis. The driver manages all this through the iconic 5-position Manatino on the steering wheel for dynamics, and a new 3-position E-Manatino to manage energy, range, and regeneration. Speaking of regeneration, you can adjust the engine braking using the left-hand paddle, and actually increase torque using the right-hand paddle. It introduces a completely new way to modulate a corner without touching the hydraulic brakes.
Which, by the way, are massive carbon ceramic discs, 390 millimeters at the front. Because when a 2.2-ton missile is doing 300 kilometers per hour, you need real friction to stop it.
Alright, before Jim starts calculating braking distances in his head, it's time for our social media segment.
Oh, here we go.
This is the What's in the Glove Box poll. Every week on our Instagram, using our helmet mascot avatar, we pose a scenario to our listeners. This week, you've just picked up your Azzurro La Plata blue Ferrari Luce in Maranello. You are blasting down the Autostrada del Sole towards Rome. The authentic, amplified sound of the electric motors is howling like a turbine in performance mode. What 1970s cassette tape is in the glove box?
Well, since Ferrari went through the trouble of creating the Ferrari audio signature with a 21-speaker, 3,000-watt system, you can't play garbage. The only correct answer is Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Song. It has that relentless, driving, thundering rhythm that perfectly matches the violent longitudinal acceleration of 4 electric motors.
Classic Jim. Brute force. I am going to pivot entirely. I'm choosing Giorgio Moroder's From Here to Eternity. It is the pioneer of electronic disco. It's synthesized, it's pulsing, it's pure Italian futuristic energy. It's the exact vibe of a hyper-advanced 800-volt Ferrari cutting through the Italian night. Let us know your choices on Instagram.
Giorgio Moroder, you're turning a Maranello masterpiece into a nightclub, Amber.
I'm curating a vibe, Jim. Look it up. All right, it's time to pull into the pits. The garage rating. Green light, amber light, or red light. Jim, you wrote the article. You go first. The 2026 Ferrari Luce.
They didn't compromise the driving experience. They didn't fake the sound. They built a chassis that dances, steering that communicates, and an interior that respects the tactile nature of driving. They used electricity not just to be green, but to make a car that handles in a way a combustion car physically cannot. It is, against all my stubborn analog instincts, a green light. It is a true Ferrari.
Wow. I think I need to record that and make it my ringtone. Jim Kana loves an EV.
Don't push it.
For me, it's an absolute, unhesitating green light. It is the ultimate expression of the elegant solution. A 5-seat, multi-energy Hyper GT that looks like modern art, drives like a Le Mans prototype, and integrates digital telemetry flawlessly without losing the human element. It is exactly what the future of luxury performance should be.
It's a 360-degree Ferrari, and a hell of a statement.
That's all from us today. You can find Jim's full review, Ferrari's Silent Revolution, and our complete archive at theautobrief.news. And don't forget to subscribe to our Friday newsletter, The Telegram.
Which I write on an actual mechanical typewriter, thank you very much.
Yes, and my ears are still ringing from the clacking. I'm Amber Light. The future is approaching fast. Don't blink.
And I'm Jim Kana. Keep the shiny side up.